Good day everyone, and welcome to API Cecomp's instructional video series. Today we're going to be working with a Cecomp DPG2000B digital pressure gauge. This one is battery powered. We offer 3 different DPG2000B models, and we have another video on our YouTube channel discussing the difference between those 3, so if you don't know which one you have exactly, you can go to that video and just kind of check it out or see what your options are. So we'll get started. In order to turn this gauge on, you just press and hold the center button until it shows something on the display. It'll go through its full power-up sequence, and your gauge is on. To shut off your gauge, simply press and hold the center button for approximately 5 seconds until your gauge shows off, and then your gauge is off. This gauge, which again, like I mentioned, is a gauge reference gauge, and this feature is only available on our gauge reference gauges, has an interesting and very useful zero feature. In order to turn on the gauge zeroed, you simply press and hold the center button for a couple of seconds until you see these little zeros show up. You release, and your gauge is now powered on and it's being zeroed. Please note that this zero correction is only good until you power the gauge back off, and we do not recommend this to replace your regular calibration sequence. Make sure that you calibrate your gauge once a year. That's what we recommend. We can recalibrate the gauge for you if you send it in, or you can use your local recal lab, but either way we do not recommend the zero function replace that. Okay, so I'm going to shut the gauge off and power it back on in regular mode. This gauge has a great backlight function, which we can't see due to these bright lights, but keep in mind that your gauge will react to backlight. If you turn on your gauge and you push either the front button or these internal buttons here, it'll activate the backlight. If you're in a dark environment, that backlight will stay on for about a minute. Once you come into a light environment, the backlight will automatically shut off in order to save battery. That's a great feature of this gauge and a lot of our gauges. All right, one of the great features of this gauge is that you can see the min and max readings. In order to view the max reading that the gauge has stored, and I've stored a few for us, you press and hold this center button until you see the word max displayed at the bottom. You'll see PSIG, which is my current engineering units, and max toggling back and forth. So right now my max is set at 10.6. Once we're done viewing the max readings, we can get out of this mode by pressing and holding the center button. Please note this mode will continue. You will continue in this mode until you manually exit it. So I'm going to press and hold this for a second. Now we're in min, and you'll see min and PSIG toggle. We have a minus 3.7 PSIG reading here. This is not a vacuum gauge, but our gauges have some tolerance built in. I did this to show the stored memory readings. And then if we're done with the min reading, we'll just press and hold the center button until you see those little stars show at the bottom. And we're back in regular operating mode. You'll notice PSIG is showing steadily at the bottom. All right, finally, from normal operating mode, we can clear the memory. So it's very simple to do this. When you're, again, in normal operating mode showing PSIG at the bottom, press and hold the center button. I'm going to press and hold it for about 3 seconds until I see the word CLR show. There we go. So I've cleared my min and max. And now if I go into my min and max, you'll see 0 instead of 10.6 and 0 instead of minus 3.7. And now I've returned to regular operating mode. Okay, if you are seeing different min and max than what I'm showing on this gauge, probably someone has gone in and configured the gauge, and there's a way to do that here. There's a passcode. This is a passcode protected gauge. We have another video outlining exactly how to do those changes, so feel free to check that video out as well. From all of us here at API Cecomp, thank you for watching our video. And if you have additional questions, you can check out the DPG2000B-D4 datasheet, which has all of this and more information available from Cecomp.com. Should you need additional assistance, we are available by phone as well at 800-942-0315. Thank you for listening in today, and look for more videos on our YouTube channel.